Yo! From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful, scenic, crime-free Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas football today, your daily football jamboree. My name is Greg Tepper.
It's not daily.
I'm the managing editor. Stop it. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, all of the places, or listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part. Support your local mediocre internet show. Again, this is a show that is live on video. Also will be clipped onto YouTube and stuff, and then there's a podcast. Does all that make sense?
Sounds like it. I mean, it does to me.
Yeah.
But I helped put that plan together.
Those other dulcet tones you hear belong to our executive producer. She is the Duchess of the Dorks over there, twisting and tweaking and making us sound good. Miss 305. She's Ashley Pickle. Hey, Gizmo.
Yo.
How was your Father's Day weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't see my dad, but we sent him some gifts, and I talked with him on the phone yesterday.
Can I ask you a question? And our friend, actually, we've never had Ryan Nanny on the show, Celebrity Hot Tub, but he normally every Father's Day asks what the most dad thing you did all year was. And being a dad is not a prerequisite for doing dad things.
No, I do a lot of dad things, to be honest with you.
You're probably more dad than I am, and I'm a father of two sons. So maybe for final thoughts, think about what the most dad thing you did this year was, and we can bring it back.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Today is Monday, June 17th, 2024, 164 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Drake's father, Kendrick Lamar. Happy birthday, Kendrick.
Pew, pew,
We
pew, pew.
appreciate your courage.
Shots fired.
I'm
not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
legitimately one of the finest rappers who's ever lived. I will stand by that. He's excellent. It is episode 1783. On today's show, folks, we got headlines from across the state, including big doings in Austin, big doings in Denton, and big doings having to do with College Station. That is a geographic tease. And then back half of the show, we're going to be joined by the head coach of the Lake Travis Cavaliers, Coach Hank Carter. Lake Travis has partnered with a very cool company, Modern Football Technology. We're going to talk about that and what the implications are with a recent UIL ruling that you can use technology in the coaching booth as well as in the locker rooms. We will hear about all that coming up here with Hank Carter, our friend from Lake Travis, coming up here at the back half of the program. Do we have first four through the door, Mademoiselle?
We sure do. It was Mr. Wood 25, Daniel Agnew, Aaron Arbuckle, and Ed McElroy. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on a Monday in the summer. It's hot, and the only thing hotter than the temperatures is the headlines.
Fire sounds don't
he
necessarily work.
He said convincingly. It is the heat of June. Not a ton going on in the football world, but there are some headlines from across the state of Texas I want to get to. One of them came down last week, and it was first reported by J.D. Davis of Mean Green Sports, and then it was confirmed by our own Carter Yates that Stone Earl is transferring from North Texas, and the long, winding journey of Stone Earl continues. This guy has been on a journey.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stone Earl, Abilene, right? He's from Abilene? Mm-hmm. Where did he go to high school? Wow.
Was it Shallow Water? It's somewhere over there.
You're listening to live coverage of me trying to remember where Stone Earl went to high school.
Here's my issue, is the first time that...
no, he went to Birdville. He's a local yokel.
The first time that Mallory ever said his name, she flip-flopped it, and she called him Earl Stone. And so now I literally had to check this graphic like 14 times, and I was like, what is the kid's actual name?
He went to Birdville. I apologize. The reason I was associating him with Abilene is because he started at Abilene Christian. He was very good at Abilene Christian, then transferred to North Texas. And last year, North Texas Mean Green fans may recall that he won the job out of camp. He was the starting quarterback for Eric Morris's Mean Green in his first season coming out of camp. But after a rough start, after 0-2, he was replaced. He was replaced by who ended up being what was it? Chandler Rogers? Who took over? Yeah, took over Chandler Rogers, and Chandler Rogers then went and led them to one of the best offenses in the American Athletic Conference. So Stone Earle then said, all right, cool, I'm going to go back to Abilene Christian. But then he threw down an Uno reverse card and said, actually, I'm going to come back to North Texas. I'm going to stay at North Texas, and I'm going to compete for the starting job with after Chandler Rogers transferred to Cal. They bring in Chandler Morris from TCU. It's a lot going on here, guys.
Meanwhile, head coach Eric Morris.
Eric Morris.
Just to really throw a wrench in the
Stay
whole
with me
thing.
here. And so they bring in Chandler Morris from TCU. The competition goes on. I think we can glean right now that Chandler Morris has won the job. Is that a fair assessment?
One can imagine that if the quarterback that was going to transfer is now planning on transferring,
yes,
then yes, you would assume so. But at this point, who knows? That would be the most reliable assumption.
Exactly right. And so Stone Earle has once again announced his intent to transfer from North Texas. We'll see where he lands. Maybe he lands back at Abilene Christian. We will see, but he is leaving North Texas. He has left the program. Sources confirm. Now, it's worth noting that the transfer portal is not open right now, so you cannot enter the transfer portal. I don't know what the situation is because he did enter it and then left, but came back out of it. I honestly,
backsies.
I don't know if you withdraw your name permanently from it. But my guess is that Stone Earle may not play this season.
Yeah.
He just may not land because the transfer portal is closed. Or whenever the transfer portal does open, he may land somewhere else.
Which also felt like a big deal when Chandler Morris didn't enter the transfer portal, even though, we know he just got there, but then there was, his dad got hired here, and is that indicative of where he's going to go? Because that's another guy that has quite a long list of transfers.
So where does North Texas stand on this? Stone Earle was almost certainly going to be the backup. Now, behind Chandler Morris, who, by the way, has been injured each of the last 2 seasons. My guess is that they will have, one of the issues that they have now is that they don't have a ton of depth at quarterback. If you remember, Jace Reuter, maybe a name that you remember.
Yeah, the North Carolina transfer.
He was a guy who was in a 3-way battle with him. I don't know if you know this. He transitioned to linebacker. He has moved to linebacker. Speaking of takesies backsies, I'm not sure you can be like, hey, by the way, all this work that you've put in at playing linebacker, forget it. We need you to come back and learn the offense again. I don't think that's going to happen. My guess, in looking at the roster, you know who I think their backup is? I think it's Cash McCollum.
Yeah.
I think the Wimberley kid is China Spring kid. The China Spring kid
was at Wimberley, transferred over.
Golly. Everyone sit still. Cash McCollum is there at China Spring. Of course, a state champion himself. My guess is that he's the backup right now. It's a weird thing. Now, my guess is that Cash McCollum's the backup. If something were to happen to Morris and McCollum, my guess is that Reuter is probably still their emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? But it's suddenly very thin quarterback room there in Denton with Stone Earle leaving the program. He's going to leave the program. We mentioned this on Thursday's show, but it's worth kind of underlying. One of the big headlines coming out of last week was coming out of Austin, and that is the announcement that Dr. Charles Breithaupt, the executive director of the UIL, will be stepping down at the conclusion of the 2024-2025 calendar year. So basically a year from right now, he's going to step down. This is a gentleman who has been with the UIL for more than 30 years. He was a state champion basketball coach. He is a guy who knows his way around Texas athletics, rose through the ranks of the UIL. In 2009, he became the 7th executive director of the UIL and has served in that capacity for the last 15 years. He will play out a 16th year and then hang it up. This came as, from what I understand and talking to people around the situation, this came as like a not necessarily a huge surprise, not a huge shock, but like it was one of the things like nobody really knew when it was coming.
Right.
But at the UIL, at the UIL Legislative Council meeting, he announced that the 2024-2025 season will be his final one.
He's been in the same conversation as like Denny Faith
Yeah.
and Randy Allen and Reggie Samples. It's
Yeah.
like you know it's coming
Yeah.
at some point, but when exactly they hang it up, you never know.
For what it's worth, I will just say that Dr. B has always been very good to us here at Dave
Oh, yeah.
Campbell's Texas Football. We're big fans of his from a personal perspective, he's overseen a lot of change in the UIL in his
Yeah.
time, and he'll have. We're efforting to get him on the show to talk about it. But a lot of his legacy, I think, is going to be just overseeing just a wildly transformative time in high school athletics. From 2009 to 2024 has been just crazy how much things have changed. And so Dr. Breidup will be retiring or stepping down at the end of the 2024-2025 calendar year or academic season. I will tell you, again, I do not have any inside information. This is not me reporting anything. This is only me looking at what the UIL tends to do and looking at tendencies and reading tea leaves. That's all I'm saying here. I would look at Deputy Director Dr. Jamie Harrison as the odds-on favorite to be the next executive director. I think that, generally speaking, the UIL, they're not going to put out some sort of like wide-ranging search firm and be like, let's go see if there's some guy in North Carolina who'd be good. That's not how they tend to roll.
No, let's think about who they are fundamentally. They're coaches, and coaches always
Yes.
look to promote within.
Yeah.
So if you go with what they're ingrained in their brain, like
I would say so. I think that the UIL traditionally, Dr. Breidup was an internal hire and stuff like that. My guess is if you were to look at kind of second in command right now, or one of the guys who's second in command, is Dr. Jamie Harrison, who is the deputy director. My guess, we're using therapy words here. I feel I know. I think that Dr. Jamie Harrison is the likely successor to Dr. Charles Breidup, who will be stepping down for the 2024-2025 season. Okay. Finally, Pickle, let's talk a little 7-on-7, because this time next week, like right here on this very program next week, we will have the pools. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're at liberty to announce.
Yeah, we are.
Are we?
Yeah.
About Sunday?
Yeah.
So Sunday.
Let it rip.
Sunday, do we have time?
I think 5 o'clock. That we're still workshopping, but I think 5 o'clock.
Let's call it Sunday evening.
Yes.
Why don't you nestle up next to your computer streaming device and log on to wherever you're watching this for a Texas Football Today special, the exclusive reveal of the state 7-on-7 pools. Exclusively here on TexasFootball.com. We will have them and reveal them to the world. It will be Sunday evening, live here on our program, here in this very studio. We're very excited about that, partnering with the State 7-on-7 board to reveal the pools for all three divisions of the State 7-on-7 tournament coming up here. The tournament is a week from Thursday, but the pools will be revealed exclusively live here on TexasFootball.com, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, in our reveal special that is coming up Sunday evening, 5-ish.
It's the kickoff to Texas football tonight.
5-ish, exactly right. It's the kickoff for Texas football tonight. All that is to say, we have more teams that have qualified for the State 7-on-7 tournament, which will be which will be starting on June 27th in College Station. At the Fossil Ridge SQT, Keller Central got in, as well as Hazlitt Eaton got in as well. Those are the teams that got in. I believe Louisville got in as well. Louisville also in from there. At the Ridge Point SQT down in the Houston area, Fort Pitt Ridge Point wins their own tournament, as does Alvin Shadow Creek. Shadow Creek will be there at the State 7-on-7 tournament. The Corpus Christi SQT, Corpus Christi Miller, high-flying offense, no surprise. Justin Evans' ball club will be there at the State 7-on-7 tournament, as will San Antonio East Central, who gets into the state tournament there. Midlothian Heritage SQT, it was Killeen Harker Heights and Frisco Centennial were the two teams that got there. At the River City SQT, that's a fancy way of saying San Antonio, Alamo Heights gets in, so we will have maybe the Michael Terry show there in College Station, as well as San Antonio Piper. San Antonio Piper gets in. At the Division II leveled SQTs, this was the Hardin Jefferson SQT. Brookshire Royal gets in, as does Lumberton. Lumberton gets in, as does at the Rockdale SQT. Lorena is heading to the State 7-on-7 tournament. Not a surprise, they are there almost every year, as well as Ponder. Ponder gets into the State 7-on-7 tournament. I know they're fired up there in Ponder. The Battle of the Bay SQT as well. Yoakum gets in. Yoakum, I know, has been playing a variety of SQTs, and I think they've made it to the state qualifying round a couple of times. They finally punched their ticket to the State 7-on-7 tournament in College Station. Do the Yoakum Bulldogs. We will have complete coverage of the State 7-on-7 tournament and all things 7-on-7 at texasfootball.com, including Sunday evening, Sunday, the exclusive reveals of the State 7-on-7 pools live here on our very programming. So we hope you will stick around for that. And that is headlines from across the state. We are at Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon. No, we're not. We're here every Monday and Thursday.
Drink.
Yeah. We do need one of those.
You need a jar.
We need one of those sponsors.
You have to put a dollar in every time you do it.
When Bally became Bally instead of Fox, we had a swear jar for that too.
Yep.
We're here every Monday and Thursday here on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I hope you will go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. You get the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands. There is a chance, I don't want to promise anything, there is a chance that subscribers get it this week.
I think it's getting pretty close.
Like late this week. Nope, I can't promise it. I don't control the mail, right? But I know that we are about that time. Like there is a chance that like on Friday or on Saturday,
we start getting tagged in
we get a tweet that's like, hey, pays to be a subscriber. Be one of those nerds. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Make your neighbor jealous. If you messed up Father's Day yesterday,
you have chance for redemption.
TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Get your dad what he wants. Although, you know what my kids got me?
What?
I got dad socks.
Nice.
I'm wearing them right now. I'll show you after the show.
Okay.
They say Super Dad. I'm wearing my Lucas. But yeah, there you go. There you go. This is helpful. Yep. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Get them awesome Super Dad. If you forgot to get your dad Super Dad socks,
yeah,
go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It's almost as good as Super Dad socks. I'm not gonna
like a bad pitch.
Right. It's a bad pitch.
Yeah.
But you already messed it up. You already messed up Father's Day.
So why not?
Coming up here in just a moment, we'll talk with Hank Carter of the Lake Travis Cavaliers about some technology that is coming to the Texas high school football landscape. But first, a word from B's valued partners.
I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose. Come on, get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. Bustin' loose when you wanna sing. Bustin' loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bustin' loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I'm Greg, that's Ashley. A variety of different rule changes are coming to the 2024 Texas high school football landscape. One of them, set forth by the UIL, is the allowance of technology, specifically video and data technology, to be used in the coaching booth and in the locker rooms, which is a big deal for a number of programs across the state. One of them, and one of the partners that utilizes that and provides that for different programs, is Modern Football Technology. And here to talk a little bit about it is a friend of the program, friend of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We're pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Lake Travis Cavaliers, it's Coach Hank Carter. Coach Carter, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Excellent. How's your summer been?
It's good. We've got what we call Cavs Course, our summer workouts going. Just finished that up, and kids are going to college camps, and I've been excited to see how they've been doing. But it's all good here.
That's a very Lake Travis problem, is that all your players are running off to these college camps to get recruited. Not a lot of programs have that kind of issue.
Coach, no, that's the ones we want. Those are the kinds of issues I want to deal with.
Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about this rule change that's coming to the UIL. I'm interested in the rule change and what Lake Travis is doing to maybe take advantage of the in-game technology heading into 2024.
Yeah, well, so first of all, what I think it's going to do for us is it's going to give us a chance to get on par with a lot of the states are already doing. Other states have some of the stuff, and they've even gone beyond what the UIL is doing. But I'm excited about it. Really, from my standpoint, as the head football coach and athletic director here, I think it's going to save time. It's going to save man hours as far as the data entry. And I think that what we've done with modern football in the past has primarily been for self-scout, and it's been fantastic. But I think the opportunity to see in-game real-time analytics I think it's going to be really important for us. And certainly the ease of entering all the stuff and the data, it just saves man hours, and I think that's really important.
You mentioned the partnering with modern football technology. I'm interested, like, what features and kind of use cases you guys have been most valuable for you guys at Lake Travis.
Yeah, for us, the ability to self-scout, that's something really important to us. I grew up coaching under Chad Morris, who went off to college. And one of the things, even when he had gotten to Clemson and then on at SMU, was I would go see him in the offseason, and just the way that they really looked at what they were doing as a program and the self-scout. So we've done that a ton so far. Not being able to do the in-game analytics is something that I'm excited to learn more about for us to utilize. But really, the ability, too, for that stuff to go straight into Huddle and straight into Max Preps, the other two platforms we deal with the most, that's been the thing that's been the easiest. Anytime there's new technology coming on board, me as being a gray-haired guy who's been in this business for a long time, and I'm a little bit hesitant to jump in with somebody, but this has been awesome, and I'm excited to take the next step, being able to see the in-game analytics.
I'm talking with Hank Carter, the head coach of Lake Travis Cavaliers here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, you said it. I will disagree with you being a gray-haired guy because that doesn't help me out either. But I will ask you a little bit about the technology thing. Football coaches are football coaches, right? But can you speak to maybe just how you utilize this as far as ease of use and just the level of support you get from modern football technologies?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest thing is data entry has been something that used to, as time has gone by and technology's gotten better, it's given us an opportunity to save man hours. And really, instead of having guys that would stay up here all weekend, all night long, going back to the DSV days, just the way that Huddle and groups like that have come online to help streamline that process, it makes us to where we can just use less man hours. And so with modern football technology, we've been able to take that, have it in-game, our coaches that are entering that data, there's no typing. It's not a matter of, they misspelled counter. It's not a matter of there's a bunch of errors in there. We were able to build a platform that works perfectly, for our terminology and for the things that we're going to do offensively and defensively. And then again, I think at the end of the day, being able to hit one button and it uploads the information to match it up with Huddle, it saves our staff a lot of time, and so it lets us to get with watching film, to get us to study the things that are really happening. But at the end of the day, to get us to where we can spend time with our kids instead of in some film room in some closet entering data.
Coach, one of the fascinating things about your program, I think, is because you guys are such a big brand name, I think people look at Lake Travis and be like, oh, well, that's going to be Lake Travis. That's who we know what they're going to be in 2024. I know that you have had wildly different teams that are some have these super high flying offenses, some of them have these lights out defenses. The best ones tend to have both. When you take a look at this 2024 team, do you have a feeling quite yet on how they might be different from Lake Travis teams of the past?
Well, I think every team's a little bit different. That's the great thing about high school is, typically for us, about half our starters graduate. And so, the leadership within the team and that dynamic changes. What I think that is going to be different for us next year. I'm so proud of how Chaston did, our quarterback, has really, he spent a ton of time in the off season working on his game, and that's why he's got so many opportunities and offers in the recruiting. I think he is going to come on the scene next year and just and really light it up. He played great down the stretch last year, but I'm excited about that. I think that our defense, I think that we have an opportunity with our defensive line to have one of the best groups that we've had here in a long time. And probably the thing that I'm most proud of, I feel like the kids love working with one another. They're having fun. Whether it's at 7-on-7 or whether it's out here what we call calves course or morning workouts, the kids love being with one another and they love being around the coaches. And so I'm excited for us to get back started. The kids are getting bigger and stronger this summer, and some guys have picked up offers. I think that we're going to throw the ball more. I think that our offense will look a little bit different because of the kids that we have coming back and really trying to utilize what Chaston's best at. And we've got a tight end, Josiah Thomas, who's missed a little bit of time for summer workouts, getting his knee better, but he's a weapon, and we're going to utilize him and those other guys in the passing game. But we're always going to hopefully be a tough, smart football team. But I think our offense will look a little different just because of the personnel. I think we'll be a little bit more wide open.
He's Hank Carter. He's the head coach of the Lake Travis Cavaliers. Coach, we sure appreciate your time and enjoy your summer. Relax as much as you can. I know you're pretty bad at that, but we are looking forward to seeing you guys in the fall.
You got it. Thank y'all so much.
There goes Hank Carter, head coach of Lake Travis Cavaliers. Join us here at Texas Football Today to talk about their partnership with Modern Football Technologies. Our thanks to them for sponsoring that segment. You're going to be stunned to know that Lake Travis has an FBS quarterback. This is
Name one other time that's happened.
Knock me over with a feather.
Yeah, you can't.
Chaston did this was I think last week he committed to East Carolina.
Nice.
I am that would be a really good get for East Carolina. Is what I will say.
There's still a lot of season left to be played.
A lot of runway, and especially Chaston did. I think is really going to be able to explode onto the scene this year. When they beat Vandegrift in the first round of the playoffs last year, you remember that? That was such a huge game.
Yep.
And I think you got to see kind of the youth movement and some of the young stars like Dida kind of step up and become that guy. And so I'm really excited to see what they do the Lake Travis Cavaliers coming in 2024. We appreciate Hank Carter, as always. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
What is the most dad thing that you've done this year?
Yeah, what is the most dad thing you've done this year? Let us know in the comments. The most dad thing I did might have been yesterday.
Really?
So yesterday.
That feels like a layup.
Hold on, though.
That feels like you're cheating.
On Father's Day, I went to a unnamed non-sponsor hardware store, which rhymes with Bohm Beepo. And I rented a power washer.
Nice. A
pressure washer.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's very dad doing the pressure washer. Pressure washer rocks.
I put one on my wedding registry. If that makes
you
me
should.
more
It's
dad
awesome.
Than you.
I mean, I've always said, like I said, I think you're more dad than I am. What's the most dad thing you did this year?
Well, taking apart my entire dryer and putting it back together could be considered one of them.
Pretty dad.
I think the most like my dad thing that I did was I pulled up to a car wash about a month and a half ago at this point, and they wanted to charge me $20 for a single car wash. And I was like, absolutely not. No. Under no circumstance. No. And so I put my car in reverse and I went to a good old coin car wash, and I did the darn thing myself. I was like, it's a nice day outside. I'm going to get the scrubby brush and do that, and then we're going to sit here and do this by hand. And so I said, screw the system, and went to the old school coin wash. I feel like that's pretty dad.
Can I tell you how dad I am getting?
And it was so satisfying, too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. One of the things that I have become, and this is really just my transformation into dad, I am now deeply, deeply invested in how much power we're using and how much electricity we're using. Electricity ain't free, guys.
Yeah, we're not trying to cool down the whole
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
You're letting the bald air out. Is something my dad would always say, and I have said that on multiple occasions, unironically. And then I will also be the guy that I'll just run upstairs and like check the kids' rooms and just make sure the lights are off. Like lights and fans and stuff like that. I'm just like, nope, off. Like I'm just turning off stuff all the time because it's not free, guys.
No.
No, it's like the kilowatt hours are rolling.
Yep.
Stuff like that. That's a pretty dad thing that I've picked up recently. If you've got dad things, let us know in the comments.
Think about that.
Happy Father's Day to the dads. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Remember, tomorrow, Republic of Football at this desk. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Lake Travis head coach Hank Carter for being our guest. For Gizmo, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.